welcome back to Surviving the KG. Sorry I haven't did a video in a while, but when the kids are home, oh my god, I cannot get anything done. I don't know why I thought I would be able to make videos with them home, but it's kind of impossible. They make it very impossible. If Bubba is not crying for me to, well, he's not a crybaby, but if he's not like wanting my attention, then it's Kaylee doing some crazy randomness that would just throw the whole video off, and you guys would be like paying more attention to Kaylee than what I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, so today I am going to talk about how I ended up with the 3 KGs. As you know, it's 3 of them. Kason, Kaylee, and Kyrie. Kason being the oldest, then Kaylee, then Kyrie. Well, we call him Bubba. I'm going to tell you about all 3 of my pregnancies with the KGs and my feelings during the pregnancy and how I felt about each pregnancy or whatever. So I'm 28, Kason is 9. You do the math. I was a teen mom. I got pregnant when I was about 17. I was turning 18. I was about to turn 18. I turned 18 like as soon as right after I got pregnant, I turned 18. I was still in high school when I was pregnant with him. I was the girl that people stared at, but no one really treated me bad or anything, or no certain type of way or whatever. Even the teachers, they were really helpful and supportive. I did graduate. Well, I originally graduated a year late. I'm not ashamed to say that, but I did graduate. I already had Kason when I graduated. I'm lying. I had him a couple of months before I graduated. As I stated, all their birthdays are in January. So I had Kason in January. I graduated that June. So anyway, I was a teen mom. I was not educated on pregnancy, how you end up pregnant, and kind of knew how to prevent pregnancy, condoms, obviously. I was not educated on birth control. So if you do have teens, make sure, even if you think they are not having sex, make sure you educate them on sex and how to protect themselves and how to prevent pregnancy. But anyway, so let's start with how I met the father, KG. So I remember being a teen. I was 16. It was summer. One of my friends, who is currently my best friend till this day, she asked me, she's like, can you walk me to the chicken place? It's right around the corner. So I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. Being a BITCH. So she's like, seriously? And I'm just like, yeah, I don't feel like walking to no chicken place. It's late. So she finally convinced me to walk with her to the chicken place. So we're at the chicken place. She orders her food, so we're waiting. So in walks this boy, and I look and I'm like, girl. She like, what? I'm like, you don't see what I see? She like, what do you see? I was like, honey, he fine. So she was like, who, him? Oh, I know him. I went to school with him. I said, you did? She like, yeah. I said, all right. Cool. So then she was like, you want me to hook you up with him? I was like, nah, I can talk for myself. So she's like, hello. He was like, yeah, what's up? She like, you remember me? He said, yeah, we went to school together. So she's like, oh, well, forget all that. My friend want to talk to you. I was so embarrassed. I was like, why did she do that? Now I'm going to look stupid, or like I can't talk for myself. So anyway, he looked at me like, so I'm like, I love telling this story. I tell KK this story since he was a child. He's so tired of this story. Anybody that know me personally is tired of this story. So he's like, you got his phone? I'm like, yeah, because cell phones weren't so big back then. They were kind of just coming out. So he's like, you got a phone? I'm like, yeah. So he was like, all right, let me get your phone. So he put his number in my phone. I didn't call right away. I waited like 2 weeks because I didn't want to look like, oh, I'm feeling, or like, I'm thirsty to call him. So I waited like 2 weeks. I called him on his house phone. I was so nervous, but he actually answered it, not his mom. Thank God. He answered it, and we spoke for like 5 minutes, and then he's like, well, I'm going back outside. I said, okay. It was summertime, remember? So I'm like, okay, cool, talk to you later. So for about a good year, the first year, we spoke, but not like exclusively. Like we spoke, but we were young, so we were still talking to other people or whatever. After about a year, we kind of made it exclusive, and I believe that's when I ended up pregnant with Kason, and we're like, holy crap, what are we gonna do? Because we're teenagers, and it's like we've been doing it for so long, and I've never got pregnant. We didn't think like, oh, I'm gonna get pregnant, you know? So anyways, I was scared. He was just like, well, what we gonna do? So I was contemplating like, how do I tell my mom this? Like, I'm a teenager, I'm living in her home, I'm in school still. How do I tell my mom I'm a teen and I'm pregnant? So little did I know, she already knew I was pregnant because she had went through my, she didn't really go through my papers. I left my bag in my sister's stroller. My sister was a baby at the time. I left my bag in her stroller, and my mom seen it because my mom had the stroller. I dropped my sister to my mom. She had the stroller. She seen the bag. She went in and she looked at the papers. So she already knew before I said anything, but she wanted me to come tell her. So she never brought it up. So finally I told her, and she's just like, you know, you're very young, you know, just make sure whatever choice you make is the choice you want to make and think about it good. She wasn't mad. I mean, I think she was more disappointed because she was also like a teen mom, so she know how hard it is and how hard it was. So I don't think she was more so mad at me. I kind of feel like she was disappointed because she didn't want me to go through what she had to go through as a teen mom. So she's like, whatever decision you make, you know, I'll support you. So I'm like, okay, cool. So how did we tell? We didn't tell his mom, actually. We got into a big fight, and I called his mom, and I'm like, you know, why is he acting like this and he know I'm pregnant? She's like, what? She just couldn't believe it or whatever. So anyways, that's how our parents found out or whatever. So moving along, the pregnancy was not hard. I should say I was just mostly sleepy, but my iron was very low when I was pregnant with Kay, so that might explain why. But I did still go to school every day up until like a week before I had him. The day I had him, I was actually supposed to take a midterm, and I ended up having him. And one of my teachers, she even called me to make sure I was coming in, but I was in labor. But that pregnancy wasn't too bad. I did not gain any weight. I did not even start showing until like I was about 7-8 months pregnant. Again, he was not planned. I'm not ashamed to say it. Kason was not planned, but I'm happy I did have him. Like, one of the best decisions I made. Now moving forward to Kaylee, the demon child. She was more planned than anyone because we both said, okay, once we turn 25, we'll have more kids. So I turned 25 for my 25th birthday. Their dad gave me a ring. I'm not gonna say he proposed to me because he didn't do old-fashioned like, oh, will you marry me? He did give me an engagement ring though. But for my 25th birthday, he gave me an engagement ring. Did I get pregnant with her? Damn, I don't even remember. Okay, well, basically, we kept saying we're going to have more kids at 25. And I know I kept telling him, like, I want a daughter. Give me a daughter. And he's like, okay, when it's the right time, it'll happen, whatever, whatever. So we ended up with Kaylee. I was rather happy. I can't speak on how he felt about it. I won't say he was disappointed. He wasn't disappointed. He was happy, but he had his own situation going on at the time. I won't really speak too much on that because I didn't really confirm with his other daughter's mom to speak about that. But he did have another daughter. Her and Kaylee is the same age. Like I said, I won't really speak on it because I didn't get permission from her mom to speak on it. But he had another daughter. Her and Kaylee's the same age. She's a few months older, so he was dealing with that at the time. So it was a lot for him, but I was happy when I got pregnant with Kaylee. She was more planned than anyone, like I said. And then we kind of got rocky after that. We wasn't together, but we were still dealing with each other, if it makes sense. And I love his other daughter like she's mine. I have no problems with her mom. We are cool today. We wasn't always cool. I will admit that. Anybody that knows me know we went through our drama, but we have no drama. We are cool. She loved my kids. I love her kids. well, I love her, dear sister, like she's my child. We have no problems. But then, yeah, we weren't together. We stopped being in a relationship, but we were still dealing with each other. So we broke up. We went our separate ways. He moved on. I moved on. Whatever. So fast forward to Bubba. Bubba definitely was not planned at all. When I was pregnant with Kaylee, I went through the motions. I was always crying. Why? I don't know. I was always crying. I won't say that I was miserable because I was happy. Like, oh my God, after 7 years, I'm having a baby. Oh my God, it's a girl. Like, I wanted a girl for so long. Like, I was so happy. But I was always crying. I think that's why she's a crybaby now. Now, Bubba. Child. So, moving forward, me and her dad was not together. And we would deal with each other on and off here and there. And then when I did get pregnant with Bubba Doe, we did try to work it out. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, we were a couple, or oh, we were completely separated. We were trying to work it out and bring the family back together. But then we realized, you know, it's just not gonna work. Like, let's go our separate ways and stay our separate ways this time. But that's when I found out, like, oh shit, I'm pregnant with Bubba. But after Kaylee, I honestly didn't want birth control. I'll make a video talking about birth control. Listen, if you're not young, wild, and hot, I wouldn't suggest you get birth control. That was like, birth control is just horrible. Like, it just messes your body up so much. So after I had Kaylee, I decided I don't want birth control anymore. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't like how it makes me feel. I don't like birth control. So I didn't get birth control, but I wasn't worried because I wasn't really dealing with anybody where I felt like, oh, I need, you know, to have birth control. And then, like I said, he came back around where we felt like, okay, let's try to work it out. So then I'm like, you know what? If he's in the picture consistently, I need to get some type of birth control, because if you know me and him, you know if he just blow on me, I'm pregnant. So I'm like, let me go get some type of birth control. I made an appointment to get the birth control and everything. And if you know how these doctors work, it's like they give you an appointment that's like 4 or 5 weeks away. So I made the appointment to get the birth control. I went to the doctor, and they're like, hey, how you doing? You know, what have you been here for today? So I'm like, my birth control. I couldn't get my birth control. I was all happy, excited, like, yes, I can get my birth control. I don't gotta be worrying no more. So they're like, you know, when's the last time you got your menstrual? You know, the normal questions they ask when you go to the doctor. So I'm like, oh, about such and such date. But the date was like 6 weeks prior, 6 or 7 weeks prior to when I got there. So he's like, okay. He's like, wait, what date did you say again? So I told him, now me, I'm not worrying because it's like Kaylee's already a year and I didn't get pregnant. So I'm not worried like, oh, I'm pregnant. So he asked me again. So I told him, so I'm like, so he's like, wait, we got to do a pregnancy test before we could give you this birth control. It was the IUD I was getting. So I'm like, okay, regular. So he's like, okay, you know, just let us do the birth control. Let us do the pregnancy test. Once we get the results, we'll insert your birth control. You could be on your way. No problem. So like 15 minutes passed now. Again, I'm still not worried because I'm not thinking I'm going to get pregnant. So like 15 minutes passed, he comes back. He goes, miss, I don't know if this is good news or bad news for you, but you're not getting any birth control today. Still like a blonde. I'm like, why? And he's like, you're pregnant. And I'm like, stop. You joking. It still didn't like hit me like, sis, you're pregnant. So I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, and he's talking, and it's like the whole time he's talking, it's like everything is a blur because it's like, wow, we just agreed. Like, yeah, this is not gonna work, and now you're telling me I'm pregnant. Okay. Wow. So once he's like, you know, whatever decision you make, you're still early on. So, you know, you could just give the doctor a call to set up an appointment. So I'm like, appointment for what? He was like, oh, if you want to terminate. And I'm just like, wow, why is that like your first suggestion? But okay. So I left and I called one of my best friends and I'm like, girl, she like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I just left the doctor. She like, okay, why you sound like that? I was like, you wanna know what he told me? She's like, what? I'm like, bitch, I'm pregnant. She like, stop it. I said, yes. She said, ooh, he gonna be mad. I said, mad for what? I didn't impregnate myself. Anyways, moving along. Like I said, after Kaylee, it was just too much. I didn't really want any more kids. He definitely didn't want any more kids. So, I was happy after. It took me a while. With K-Stone and Kaylee, I was very happy from day one. Like, wow, I'm having a baby. With Bubba, it took me a while to reach that point of, wow, I'm happy. And I think that point came when I had the gender reveal, and it's like, it's a boy, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I didn't want another girl, honestly. I did not want any more girls. But once I had the gender reveal and it came like it's a boy, I kind of grew to be a little bit more happy. I'm not ashamed to say I wasn't happy in the beginning of that pregnancy because that wasn't something I wanted. Like, I already went through that with their dad, where get pregnant, separate, get back together, get pregnant, separate. Like, I just didn't want to repeat the history of everything that already happened. So I kind of felt like, damn, it's happening all over again. He was not happy about me being pregnant, but after a while he grew to accept it. I can say that. But yeah, each pregnancy was different. I was happy with Kay, always crying with Kaylee. With Bubba, I was just neutral. Like, I told myself I'm not gonna be a crybaby with this pregnancy because I know how it was with the last pregnancy. As far as like with Kaylee, cry, and I was so neutral with Bubba, and Bubba is just such a happy-go-lucky kid. Like, he doesn't really cry. He cries if he's hungry or something, but yeah, he doesn't cry that much. And I think that's because I controlled my feelings during the pregnancy of being neutral, not being a waterhead. But that is how I ended up with the KGs. If you have any questions you want to ask me about this story, about another story, leave it in the comments. If you have suggestions on videos I should make, like discussing different topics, leave it in the comments. Anything you want to know, just ask. Thank you for watching on how I got the 3 kgs.